Good morning, all of you. Today's session on Gauss divergence theorem and Stokes theorem. Okay, so all our BSc second year semester 4th, we are going to understand the unit first, the second part of Gauss divergence theorem and Stokes theorem. So here we will discuss surface. So in this surface, first we understand the surface. What does it mean by surface? Surface is a two-dimension. A surface, as the term is the most generally used, is the uppermost or upper layer of any physical object or space is known as surface. So why surface is a two-dimension? Because in two-dimensional pictorial picture of any region, suppose if you take the simple example of apple, how it is look like? It looks like a outer surface that is a spherical. Outer surface is a spherical in this manner. Outer surface layer is a two-dimensional way. Okay, as a circle, it looks like a circle in two dimension. Suppose if you want to define a surface, as the term is the most generally used, is the outermost or uppermost layer of a physical object or space is known as a surface. But today's topic is that surface integral. Suppose if you want to define the surface integral, we will require a vector field. In this vector field region, particular point, if you select a particular point in a region R, at each point of region R, x, y, z variable, okay, in the space, there is a vector quantity f. There exists a vector quantity f is a force having a definite value. Then the quantity f is called vector point function. Suppose if we consider any point in the vector field region of the space, so that point comes in the region with a coordinate x, y and z in R space. There is a vector quantity f is the force having a definite value in terms of Cartesian coordinate. That f is called as a vector point function and region R is called vector field. Okay, so we are going to consider any surface element in the vector field region. The similar way, if you want to define surface integral, we are going to consider the two integral. Okay, so that any integral which is to be evaluated over a surface, is called surface integral. So we can consider any geometrical shape of surface, so that surface integral always in two dimension. Why surface integral always in two dimension? Because most of the upper part or surface part we can represent in two dimensional way. So we can take any geometry, circle, equilateral triangle, pentagon, or any cylindrical uppermost part, or any cube, or any rigid surface like this, or any cracker surface like this, we can evaluate the double integral. Okay, if you want to define surface integral, we are going to consider double integral which is to be evaluated over the surface on this, then we can call as a surface integral. And surface integral always in two dimension. Why two dimension? Because we can observe here x and y axis, so that change in differentiation dx and dy multiplication, so that multiplication differentiation dx dy represent in two dimension. Suppose if you take the integral from minus infinity to plus infinity in double integral form with the differentiation, okay, ordinary differentiation dx and dy. Sometimes we can take the surface double integral in terms of the surface element ds. So that surface ds element is a product of ordinary differentiation dx and dy. Okay, so we have cleared this surface integral. we are going to take a next point here. Imagine surface S. Suppose if you take the surface S, suppose if you consider the any surface in the region of vector field region, okay, vector field space, divide this small region in small up to this small. So we can divide the number of region in a small element of surface S. Okay, consider a single one surface element here, okay, at area ds. This area, whole area is the ds. A particular point P we are going to consider at this point P. So this is the point, particular point at the surface area element ds as shown in the figure. So we are going to consider a single point, okay. So that point have a particular vector point function. So that vector point function we are going to represent in terms of vector field. So how we can represent that? So we can represent so that f, let f be the vector, okay, vector at a point P in a surface element ds, in a surface element ds, f be the vector point function at a point P of the surface element ds, okay. Similar, so that surface element its own existence of normal vector. So that normal vector always unit outward direction. So that outward normal vector from the point P of the surface element ds, and this is the diagram of surface integral of the vector field. So we are going to make a angle between normal field vector, normal vector with a force vector field point function. So that angle between normal and vector point function force, okay. So in this manner, let f be the vector at a point P in a surface element ds, and n is the unit outward normal vector at a point P of a surface. So let theta, so in this theta is this angle. This angle is the theta between normal and vector force F. The surface element ds surrounding at a point P can be regarded as a vector whose magnitude is area ds. This area ds and the direction of that vector n, the component of F, the component of the force F along the normal. If you want to take the component, suppose we have a component, how we can, why we are going to take the component? Because we are going to measure this force along the normal vector. Suppose if you want to measure the component of the force, we are going to mix with angle theta, and if you take the cos theta, adjacent side divided by hypo. So similar way, so this way we can take a component of the force along the normal Pn to ds element. So that component we are going to make the dot product of these two vector. Why? If you are going to take the component, so we will require the dot product. Why we require the dot product? Because we are going to take the component of this vector field force function on the normal. So in this way we are going to take the dot product of this force vector with the normal. So that dot product we are going to measure in this manner, f dot n, okay. So dot product represents the component of the f along the normal Pn to ds f cos theta. The flux f through the element f dot n ds, then the integral of this taken over the surface is called as the surface integral of vector function f over the surface, which is given by double integral with the dot product of f dot n ds. And we know that that surface element ds we are going to represent in terms of double integral f cos theta ds. So dot product of f vector with the normal always represent in terms of the component. What is that component? Dot product of these two vector represent in terms of the f cos theta is the component, and ds is the surface element. Suppose if you are going to take the dot product of vector point function f and the surface element, so that dot product always written as double integral f cos theta ds. But that ds is the magnitude, ds surface element is the vector. Why we are going to represent here the surface element is vector? Because we know that our normal unit vector always outward from the surface element ds, so that normal outward vector represent a surface element. So this is the surface integral. Okay, thanks for your attention.